hooded eyelid gives you a heavy, tired look, even if you've had enough sleep. It's when you look at a photo and see not your eyes, but two little slits. It's when, with age, the eyelid droops so low that it interferes with your vision. But this will only happen to you if you don't do the techniques from this video. I myself have had naturally hooded eyelids since birth. Here are my photos from before, and this is now. I am now 56 years old, and look at the difference. No surgery, only techniques that I do myself with my own hands. And today I will show you this workout absolutely for free. It only takes 10 minutes. It's easy and pleasant to do, and you will see the result from the very first time. Here's what's important. A hooded eyelid is not some kind of defect. It's physiology. When you're young, it even adds a special charm. I personally really like the way it looks. See for yourself, a lot of celebrities have hooded eyelids, and they are still considered beauty icons. But women with hooded eyelids often make two mistakes. The first is simply not paying any attention to it. Well, it's there, so we just live with it. And then the eyelid droops lower and lower. The eyebrows slide down, and the look becomes very heavy. The second mistake is to have surgery to remove the excess skin from the eyelids. It's called Blepharoplasty. The surgeon cuts off the fold of skin and stitches the edges. And technically, the eye seems to be opened up. But after that, the eyes become sunken and unnatural. Women lose their charm, their signature look. And then their fans don't understand why it was necessary to do it at all, and men too. You know, I used to really love Keanu Reeves for his beautiful eyes, until he had blepharoplasty and lost his individuality. Now it's not him anymore, it's a different person. That's why we don't need any surgery. With simple techniques, you can lift your eyebrows, open up your gaze, and remove the heaviness. You will keep that signature cat-like squint, but at the same time, your eyes will become more open and lively. Globally, we can identify 5 reasons for hooded eyelids. Now we will work with each one. You will see the difference immediately after the practice. And if you do it 3 times a week, in a month your eyelids will be noticeably lifted, and your look will be completely different. Click the like button to save this workout and do it at a convenient time. Subscribe, and let's begin. So why is a young hooded eyelid a special charm, while an aged one turns into a shriveled prune? Because with age, after 45, especially when menopause begins, increased bone resorption begins, meaning the skull deteriorates. Because of this, the eye socket enlarges, the tissues sink into it, get compressed, and begin to swell. And swelling is always a source of internal inflammation. That is, the tissues inside begin to stick together, and the skin sticks to the fascia. These adhesions are called fibrosis. And fibrosis, it's like mold. It starts to take up all the space, it spreads and grows deep, all the way down to the periosteum. And the periosteum starts to get covered with these adhesions, which interfere with blood flow. The bone's blood circulation is impaired, and because of this, the bone tissue starts to diminish even more. This creates a vicious cycle, and we need to break it. And we eliminate the root cause, which is bone tissue resorption, by working with the bone. Look, we are going to work with this bone here, with the upper bone. We place our thumbs under the bone, the pads of our thumbs right here, directly above the corner of the eye. You need to lower your head directly onto the pads of your fingers with its full weight. I'm holding my hands up, but you can put your elbows on the table and lower your head onto your fingers. Lower your head and hold for a few seconds. And then we start to make these circular movements. It's like we've adhered to it. To the bone, and we're not sliding on the skin, we're sliding directly on the bone itself. Make a circular motion on one spot, do it for a few seconds. Move to the next spot. Again, lower your head, hold, and start making a circular motion. It might be very painful in that case. Please reduce the pressure on the bone. The pressure should be a 5 or a 6 out of 10, so it's a moderate pain. Then move again. We need to go over every centimeter of the bone. Also, lower your head onto the bone and start making circular movements for a few seconds along the bone. That is, we've attached our finger to all the layers of skin, and together with the skin, the inner fascia and muscles, we glide along the bone. Then move again. And so you need to go over every point of the upper orbital bone. Start making a circular motion. And now you will feel, perhaps, that inside you have some densities, some little balls rolling around. Ideally, the bone should be even and smooth. If it's not smooth there, then you've already found that fibrosis I was talking about, which you need to fight. And so, in the next step, we will fight the fibrosis. Look, we've reached the edge of the bone. We've gone over the entire orbital bone, and notice how your eyes have already opened up. That is, we worked on it for literally what? A minute, and your eyes have already opened up. And next, we'll go along this bone to lift the corner of the hooded eyelid. We lift the tail of the eyebrow with our fingers, place the hook of our finger here on the bone, take a breath, and as you exhale, we slide our finger right along the bone. Inhale. Exhale. In. Out. Do it twice, and the corner of your hooded eyelid lifts, opening up your eyes. Let's do the other side. Lift the tail of the eyebrow with your hooked fingers, sink into the bone, and press in. Inhale, and as you exhale, move along the bone. Sink right into the bone. Inhale. Well done! And look, your eyes have opened up. Next, we'll work on the second cause. We're removing fibrosis. First, we'll remove the periosteal fibrosis. Place the pads of your fingers right here in the corner of the eye, where we started the first exercise. Place them. Stick to the bone. And now we start to glide along the bone, right here in the corners of the eyes. This is where drooping often occurs, when you already have puffiness and even constant under-eye bags. And look, you're smoothing the bone itself along the bone like this. And feel if you have any growths on the bone there, or if your bone is smooth. Normally, the bone should be smooth. If you don't feel the smoothness of the bone, it means that's exactly where the fibrosis is. The orbital bone actually starts to deteriorate fastest right here, in the inner corner of the eye above, and in the outer corner below. And we're working, look, with this part. That's why there's often puffiness here. And we start to smooth it out. We smooth it, trying to smooth it until it's completely smooth. Of course, you won't get it on the first try. This will happen gradually. We smooth it until it's completely smooth. Do this for 30 seconds or even a minute. Well done! Look how your gaze opens up right here in the inner corner of the eye. Next, we'll remove the muscle fibrosis. The muscle, the orbicularis oculi muscle here, is made of fibers. And with age, these fibers stick together, meaning fibrosis starts to glue the fibers together. The muscle contracts, and that's why the eyelid droops. And we need to get rid of this fibrosis, and you can only do it with your hands by pressing deeply right into the muscle. You need to lift your eyebrow. Place your finger in a hook again. We sink in right here under the eyebrow, directly into the muscle, and start to glide along the bone like this. Sink into the muscle as if it were clay, with a sinking, melting motion. And we go over, look, this whole part of the muscle, the bone, from top to bottom. We are essentially unsticking these muscle fibers. They're stuck together, and we are smoothing them out. Go over it like this. Go back and forth with your fingers several times. And when we release the eyebrow, look, our eyelid lifted and the eyebrow lifted. And let's do the same thing on the other side. Lift the eyebrow, make a hook with your finger, and start sliding along the bone. So, we press our finger into the tissue and slide. So, look, we're not sliding on the skin. Not on the skin, keep that in mind. We press inward with a melting motion, as if into modeling clay. It's like thin modeling clay. Our muscles are very thin. They are literally 1 millimeter thick, so you won't feel them. But you know that the muscles are there, and we press into them. We smooth out the muscle fibers and remove the fibrosis. Our eyelids will lift. Done, and look, the eyelid has lifted. Next, we'll address the third cause of hooded eyelids, which is muscle spasm. We most often look down. This includes gadgets and when we write, when we work, when we eat. Well, practically, our gaze is most often directed downward. We rarely look at the stars. So our eyelids are most often directed downward. There is a muscle that lifts the upper eyelid. This muscle belongs to the group of oculomotor muscles. And when our gaze is constantly directed downward, this muscle gets used to this pattern. It becomes weak and doesn't hold the eyelid up. And we need to strengthen this muscle. To do this, we'll do an exercise from oculomotor gymnastics. We lift our gaze upward. We imagine an ellipse like this above us, and we start to draw an ellipse above with our gaze. Let's do 1, 2, so you see, our eyelid is lifted. 3, follow the finger, draw the ellipse. for 5, 6, and do this up to 10 times. And then in the other direction. 1, 2, and also do this up to 10 times. Do this exercise every day in the morning. If you're tired, if your eyelids have drooped, do this exercise and you'll see how they lift up. And now we'll work on the fourth cause of hooded eyelids. This isn't even a cause in itself, but rather it stems from all the previous causes. It's puffiness. It arises from muscle spasms, both eyelid muscle spasms and neck muscle spasms, because if they are constricted here, the puffiness won't drain from the eyelids because they will be pinching the main lymphatic flow. And also because of the back muscles, because when posture is poor, the shoulders are also tight, and they won't let fluid drain downwards. And if the pectoral muscles are tight, the fluid won't drain. So, if there are blockages below, the puffiness won't go away. Many people probably know about this, but what many probably don't know is how much puffiness we have on our scalp. The muscles here on the scalp are in spasm. And all this swelling, it's a large area. You don't even know it's there. But where does all this swelling go? Of course, to the eyelids. And that's why the eyelids become hooded. Therefore, to get rid of eyelid swelling, you need to start with the scalp. We have the fronto-occipitalis muscle. It starts at the back of the head and ends right here on the forehead. If this muscle is in spasm, it contracts here, pinching the lymphatic channels, and it contracts here, also pinching the lymphatic channels. And here we end up with constant swelling. We need to relax this muscle. We're going to do an exercise that relaxes these muscles. We'll need the pads of our fingers. We place one palm on the frontal muscle, right here above the eyebrow. We place the other palm on the occipital muscle. It's located right here, the occipital muscle. We press in with our fingers. Both sets of fingers press inward, and we begin to move. So we're not moving on the skin, but on the internal tissues. And we move slowly, meaning the hands move. The hands move toward each other. I have hair here, but you can see that my hands are moving toward each other. Like this, and then, as you can see, our hands will meet at the crown of the head, so the fingers come together. And they continue to move, just like this, until they press against each other. And we do the same thing on the other side. So we place our fingers above the eyebrow. Here on the frontal muscle, we press in, so look, we're going to move along the muscle firmly, not on the skin, but on the muscle, deep inside. And we place the other hand on the back of the head, right here, pressing into the occipital muscle, and the fingers of both hands slide toward each other, like this. At the crown, the fingers meet and continue to slide until they interlock. Just like this. Gradually, the swelling in the upper part of the head will go away. And notice how your eyes open up. And now we'll also work on the temporal muscles. Place your fingers right here on your temples. We also press inward, press in, because a lot of swelling also collects here on the temporal muscles due to their spasm. During this time, we move up along the temporal muscles until our fingers meet at the back. We are sliding along the tissues inside, not on the skin, until our fingers meet. Then our fingers have met and interlocked into a lock like this. And when they've interlocked, hold the tissues a bit longer, just hold them. And notice how your eyes open up. Do this last exercise 2 to 3 times. The 5th reason is posture. When your head moves forward, the back of your neck shortens, the skin there gathers, and the folds literally slide down onto your forehead, and then press on your eyebrows and eyelids. You can do eye exercises every day, but if your neck is tight and your head juts forward, your eyelids will still droop anyway. That's why I've prepared 2 free workouts for you that will enhance today's results. The first is for your posture and neck. It will be a complete, separate workout, just as simple as the one in this video. You'll release the tension in your neck and straighten your shoulders. And everything we did today will last much longer. Plus, the dowager's hump will disappear and your neck will become long and graceful. The second workout is a complete face lift. There, we'll work on jowls, nasolabial folds, your facial contour, bags under the eyes, and hooded eyelids. Simple techniques, easy to follow movements, and you'll see the results right away. Get both workouts absolutely free. The link is in the first pinned comment under this video. Go there right now while access is still available.